Will the virtuous Sangha, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung kính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. How much of the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one? Nam mô Sananto Suchedo Ye Alahodi San Miao San Puto Xie. Nam mô Tạc Đắc Tha Tô Già Đà Già Alahade Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jian jian wan de shou chi, yuan jie ru lai chen shi yin. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Jingliang, Venerable YongHua, Venerable loving people, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Quốc sư, Hòa thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát Chính Liang Đại Sư, Sư Phụ Sang人,各位出家人，各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, thank you for coming. We are here to continue discussing the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra written by Master Jingliang. It's a survey, an overview of the profound teaching, the profound principles contained in the Avatamsaka Sutra. All right? The highest level Buddhist wisdom. I cannot seem to get the present mode from here. Am I missing something? I cannot go into present mode. Okay, there you go. Okay. We have so much to cover, and if we continue to go at the same pace I've been going to when I explain sutras, we'll never be able to finish much of the sutra because we go too slow. Okay. However, there's a concern here is that there are some very important principles, teachings, concepts, Buddhist wisdom that I wanted to teach you in the past, but I ignored them until we discuss the sutra. So you need to make a compromise. I have to go a bit faster in order to cover more grounds, and at the same time, if you can cooperate by asking questions of things that bother you, interest you. Otherwise, we're trying to go a little bit faster. if it's okay with you. Okay, I'm perfectly fine either way, fast or slow. Okay, because this is to me such a profound wisdom in Buddhism that I really appreciate as well. Okay, I'm learning a lot too along with you. Where are we now? Okay, so you're talking here about within the dependent, the dependent world, meaning the world, outside world, material world we depend on for our survival, for our well-being. Okay, so within that dependent world, in that material world, you can manifest, you can see within each single decimal countless worlds as well. Okay, that's what is called inconceivable, because your mind cannot possibly conceive of. It's illogical. Okay, intellectually it's not possible. So that's the nature of the teaching, by the way. It's not something you can understand, therefore no point in trying to understand. Okay, so you let go. Here part of the training is to hear about it. This is the ultimate truth, the highest level truth possible you can learn. Okay, in Chan meditation, for example, we don't go into this level of wisdom. Okay, and same in the other schools as well. So that's why for the teaching school, this is really, really the highest level possible. There's Korean translation? No? She's doing it? Okay, fine. All right, next, 213. Two, within the proper, they are manifested proper, like hair pores manifesting Buddhas.
正内现正，如毛孔现佛。
Okay, 214. Another type of inconceivable state that we cannot possibly understand. Is illogical to us. Within the proper can manifest the proper. Proper refers to your body. It's proper retribution. Okay, meaning that from the past karmas we created, now we obtain this body. Okay, so the Buddha's Shakyamuni Buddha is a proper retribution. He came as a Shakyamuni Buddha as part of the manifestation of all the prior karmas he created, among which his body as Shakyamuni Buddha has to undergo the retribution for killing Devadatta. So that's why Devadatta then was entitled to try to kill him, to hurt him, and he did get hurt. Okay, so within the proper within the Buddha, like a Buddha has hair pores, a body has hair pores. Okay, within this hair pore there, you can manifest Buddha's teaching as well. All right. Again, I'm warning you, don't try to understand, just listen to it, okay? This is when you put to rest your thinking mind. You put to rest your logic, especially you engineers and smart people. This is way beyond you, okay? All right, 215. Within the proper manifests the dependent.
三正内现一。
Okay, so now, so within the hair pore of a person on your body, you can manifest as many Buddha lands as dust motes. Okay? So on the tip of your hair pore, okay, you can see, you can manifest countless galaxies. Try to understand that. All right? Okay. So, thank you. So the flower treasury world systems that the world system there can that amalgamation of the various universes, the various worlds, various galaxies, countless galaxies, can manifest on the tip of your hair pore, manifest in your hair pore. Okay? 217. 4. Within the dependent manifests the proper.
4. 依内现证。
Okay. So here, within the dependent manifests the proper. So within this each dust particle, you're going to appear the Buddhas doing their work. Okay? When I read this 25 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, I had no clues what this is referring to. So don't feel bad, okay? I still don't have any clues. But it shows how limited our wisdom is, okay? This is what the Buddhas see. This is what the Buddhas certifies to, okay? And one day you'll be able to do that as well. But you won't be able to do that in the future unless you hear about it today. Yes, Way Mountain.
Wait, so you're saying that we can manifest the galaxies in our hair pore, or our galaxy is already manifested within a hair pore?
When you have the Buddha eyes, this is way beyond us. The Buddhas, when he uses Buddha eye, he can see on the tip of a hair pore, in that hair pore right there, actually is contained this world systems. Okay, the reason we can't see it because your mind is stuck on big versus small. Okay? Visible versus invisible. The Buddha's mind has no such attachments. Okay? So, the wisdom here, the point here is that you are inhibiting yourself from seeing it. No one is. All right? So part of the Buddha's wisdom is to be able to remove those self-inhibitions, if you will. And that, the first thing that has happened is that you need to know, you need to recognize that you are limiting yourself. That's all. Okay? Yeah. It's not about understanding anymore. It's about you say, I don't believe. How come I don't see it? Therefore, I don't believe. YouTube, go ahead.
Zhang is asking, these verses, the states only apply to the Buddhas, not Bodhisattvas or below?
Bodhisattvas can't see it. And you require the Buddha eye to see the entire thing. So that's why it takes the Buddha to say, here's how things are. What you're seeing is but a small portion of the entire universe. Don't be so full of yourself. Don't be so sure of yourself. Be more humble. And again, the reason you can't see it is because you don't believe, you stop yourself from seeing it. So in order to undo that, the first thing you have to do is plant the seed. Says, yes, it is possible. Yes, I can't see it. Yes, it's the Buddha who can see it. I trust the Buddha. So, point here is, have faith. It's not something you can understand. You have to believe that the Buddha would not mislead you, would not lie to you. And instead of trying to say, I understand, or I don't get it, you simply say that someday I too will see that. Okay? Wei Mao.
Master, I had this dream last night. It was weird. It was really weird. So it was like this winged creature. It looked like an angel or something. It picked me up and it dropped me on like a cube, but the cube was time. And I just started going through this weird kind of vortex of like time. And I was scared, but as soon as I realized I wasn't scared, it became like a roller coaster, and it was really fun. And then the winged creature, it might have been a demon. It pulled me out of that as soon as I realized I was having fun. But I wanted to ask you about time. Like, what is time? The concept of time, because I also do I'm looking at like financial charts, and like the thing is like time and price are both really interconnected. Like time is really important, but when we talk about like external things, we always talk about like the external marks, like as being like things, like physical objects. But is there any way you could like maybe explain the concept of time?
Yes, I can. There's no such a thing as time. Does it help? Very good. Let's move on. If you enter samadhi, there's no time. Time stops. Time becomes infinite. It's only you have a notion of time because you're still thinking. You think of the past. You think of the future. You think of now. That's why you have a notion of time. If you stop thinking, no more time. What time? What time? Never heard of it. You see the point? It's that simple. That's how simple it is. All you have to do is stop thinking, then time no longer exists. But you can't stop thinking, can you? Never mind. Okay. So within 220, within the dependent, manifest, the dependent, and the proper. So you see, within a single dust particle, you can appear both the world systems as well as the Buddhas. Okay? It says this, that's why it's called non-obstructions. The small does not obstruct the large. Okay? The dependent does not obstruct the proper does not obstruct the dependent. So it's no obstruction in your mind at all. Okay? You see, at this point, you have so many obstructions in your mind, that's why they have to talk to you about the proper and the dependent. Because your mind is obstructed. In the Buddha's mind, there's no such a thing as a proper, there's no such a thing as a dependent. He talks like this only to confuse people. So far, so good? All right. 6. Within the proper manifest the proper and the dependent, and there is more than one supporting text.
6. 正内现正一，其文非一。
Okay. So here it refers to within the proper meaning in your body. Okay. And within the hairport manifest the Buddhas. That's a proper. And dependent is a sea of worlds of a flowery treasury. So worlds can manifest worlds and Buddhas can manifest within your hair pore. So far, so good? 223. Furthermore, there are 4 propositions. 1, perhaps only dependent, because the Buddha is the Kshetras.
又有4句：一或为一，佛即刹故。
Okay, so 224. There's 4 more cases where this is sheer logic. You understand logic, logic and mathematics. This is just this case studies where you can try to justify this. Okay, so there are 4 more cases where only dependent retribution, meaning there's only the worlds, because Buddha is no different from the Buddha lands. Okay. And because theoretically speaking, the Buddha body is a land of the Dharma nature, whatever it means. Okay, I know you know what I'm talking about. Yes, very good. Moving on. 225. 2, perhaps only proper because the Kshetras are the Buddha. 3, both. 4, neither. Upon reflection, one can know them.
2. 或为正，刹即佛故。3. 句。4. 冥思之可知。
Okay, so logic A or B, neither A nor B, okay, or both. Okay, so this is a simple logic if you're into mathematics. So number 2, only proper, meaning that only the Buddha, there's no such a thing as a Buddha land, because it's the Buddha land is just a Buddha's Dharma nature body. Okay, number 3, both. Actually, where you see the Buddha body and the world, they manifest. And number 4, neither, meaning is no such a thing, it's all empty. Yes, someone's trying to understand here. Yes, blue, green.
Master, I forgot what Kshetras means.
Kshetra is a Sanskrit term that means Buddha land. Okay? Kshetra is like our Milky Way is one Kshetra. See, we can't even measure really have a good handle on our own galaxy, let alone like infinite number of galaxies out there. Okay? All right. 227. Whichever single door is mentioned, it includes them all, just as this is described below.
随举一门，即摄一切，并如下说。
Okay, next 228. You can explain more. The fruit dependent and proper can be explained using 6 propositions or the 4 propositions just mentioned here. Whatever it is, that includes all the doors, and not only that. There are layer upon layers of different interpretations. Okay, and you dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Those layers are infinite layers. All right? 6 to 29. In order to discuss the positions to show the bodhisattvas who are cultivating the causes for Buddhahood, how the one road to the fruit has differences of stages.
6. 彰地位者，为显菩萨修行佛因，一道至果，有阶差故。
All right. So number 6, the 6th cause for discussing this particular sutra here is to describe the position, the stages of bodhisattva path. Okay, meaning that these are what? The positions are the attainments. Okay, we're talking about success. We're talking about measurable goals. Okay, concrete results. It's not theory. This is what you can reap in terms of benefits. Okay, so positions are, and this is this is, you need to understand, hear this. These concepts are very important. The positions are dwellings, conducts, transferences, and grounds. This is what the Bodhisattva path is about. You start with, okay, the 10 faiths, okay, and then the 10 dwellings, the 10 conducts, 10 transferences, 10 grounds. If you go through the 10 faiths, you go through the 10 faiths, then the 10 dwellings, 10 conducts, 10 transferences, okay, and then 10 grounds. That's where the grounds here are sagely grounds. You enlighten. Okay, so in the hierarchy of the world, okay, the world as we know it, the proper world, I mean beings like us as we know it, is very, very hierarchical, meaning that we all attain our statuses. Okay, so for example, in your road to Buddhahood, and we all are on that road, by the way, like it or not. It's too late now to back out. It's not possible to back out, by the way. Even Jew will make it. She'd rather be home. But no, it's not up to you anymore, okay? You are being, pushed along to Buddhahood, okay? And so everyone, all of us, okay? Because it's not just today, it's not my fault. It's because you planted these causes already. That's why you're here again. I'm only reminding you. For you to be exposed to this, it's not the first time. Because if it were the first time, you wouldn't bother coming back. You would say, I'm out of here. And this is a total nonsense to me. Okay? I don't care how much my wife wants me to be here. I have better things to do. You see? All right. So for you not to be repulsed by this, okay, is a proof that it's not the first time. Unless you're in shackles and chains. All right. So these positions are the first 10. You have faith number 1, faith 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. First level, the first 10 positions. After that, you graduate to 10 dwellings. And after that, you graduate to 10 conducts. Conducts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So it's like these are like in the armed forces, you have these what do you call that? These ranks. Thank you. See, it comes naturally to him. Rank, what else are you we're talking about? Okay? So the road to Buddhahood, okay, has clear demarcation, you will. Okay? So get used to these positions. Okay? Remember, faith is first. 10 faiths, 10 dwellings, 10 conducts, 10 transferences. Okay? Let me tell you, 10 transferences are the stages just before you become enlightened. This is beyond the 4th-stage Arhat. Okay? The sound hearers, they can get to 10 conducts. They cannot make it to 10 transferences. They can't. They don't know how. Okay? And in the 10 transferences, you learn about that later in the text, where what they're about, and what you need to go through, that kind of, and so forth, and before you reach the stages of enlightenment, positions of enlightenment. Okay, that's when you made it. All right. Next, 231. The great jewels of the sages are said to be the positions. For without those positions, there would be no accomplishment to cultivation.
夫圣人之大宝日位，若无此位，行无成故。
Okay, so this as a reminder again. Okay, this is says, as you walk towards Buddhahood, like it or not, you will reach these milestones. It's a matter of time. Okay, so going back to our Chan class, when I teach you meditation, when I teach you Chan, we remind you, you're supposed to improve because your improvement is actually going towards these milestones yourself. And you experience that. For example, this morning we talked about entering samadhi, that's entering a milestone, reaching a milestone. And for that, you have increased energy, you're wiser, you're smarter, you're faster, you're stronger, you're more resilient, you're kinder, you're more compassionate, you know, all the good stuff that comes with that. And it's not imagination. Okay? So that's why when you meditate and you come to the temple, okay, and you just come for the sake of the lunch, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But even the lunch here in our temple is called Bodhi lunch. The lunch that paves the way for you to reach Bodhi as well, whether you like it or not. And it's your fault that you keep on coming. It's not our fault, okay? All these women that cook, and they're in the mind, they say, hey, Bodhi, Bodhi, Bodhi. Isn't that right? I was meditating this morning, and these women, they start cooking at what time? Like 6 or 7? They started cooking already, okay? And they're laughing, and they I never heard people laugh like that for 2-3 hours straight. All right, 233. This is also two kinds. One, the door of successive gradations from establishing distinctions of positions.
意此意二种：一、行部门立位差别故。
If you talk about positions, then there are A to B to C to D to E and F and so forth. Successions, gradations. It's successive, incremental, if you will. Right? Okay. Next, 2, the door of perfect fusion, because one position includes all positions. So when any one position is fulfilled, then there is then attainment of Buddhahood.
二、圆融门一位即摄一切位故，一一未满即至佛故。
Don't you love it? You don't get it, do you? Oh God, you're so... And you think you're so smart. Oh, good Lord. What does it mean here? Read it. Isn't it obvious? Some of you have PhDs, right? Yes? Some of you have tattoos. Same thing. Excuse me. Perfect fusion. One position is no different than other positions. Meaning what? One is all is one. 3 musketeers. See how profound movies are? Okay? What does it mean? That this is a scholarly way of saying what? Old man, old monk. What is this? You see? See, you're stuck on phraseology and terminology. Yes, American Pilgrim.
Masters, mean everything's the same and time is the same, like there's no past and future and stuff? Everything's all the same?
No. I love to abuse him. Anyone else? Yeah. Green.
Emitofuo, I think this means one truth is everything is true.
What about one false?
And then everything is true too.
No, one false is everything is false. How can one false become true? Since where did you go to school? Seriously, you're an engineer, you're designing our bridges? Seriously? This refers to sudden teaching. These people, before that, they say, you need to traverse, you need to go from grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. You know that our kids, some of them like at the age of 13, they're getting a PhD. You see that? They're able to skip. Yes? That's sudden teaching right there. See that? He can leap. You see, and the scholars put it this way. This is so much Jing Liang. It's so elegant. It's so lofty. You know? But the Chan people say, it's sudden teaching. What else? One is all is one. You stupid. You're also Buddha. What's the matter with you? Can't you see it? $235. Oh no, that's 237. The first ground says, within a single ground is contained the merit and virtue of all the grounds.
出地云：一地之中，具摄一切诸地功德。
Okay. Meaning what? At that position called ground, okay, the level of enlightened beings, of the sages, okay, meaning that you made it home. You got home. Okay? So each ground has the merit and virtues of all the other grounds. I think the Koreans are totally lost. Wei Mountain, go ahead.
If the first ground has all the merit and virtue of all the other grounds, what's the difference between all the different grounds in the first ground? If Master Qing Liang says they're all really the same.
Yeah, it's all the same, but because you are still unfulfilled, that's why you see the difference between you and the other grounds. Okay? Is the residual ignorance that prevent you from seeing that you have the same merit and virtues as all the other grounds. All right? See, in other words, your discriminative mind that prevent you from seeing that. 239, faith includes to see the fruit, when one first brings forth resolve, one accomplishes proper enlightenment, and so forth.
信该果海，出发心时变成正觉的。
240. Faith includes to see the fruit. If, this is very important, if you have faith, then you become a Buddha. Does it make sense to you? If you have faith in a Buddha's teaching, okay, then you're a Buddha to the Buddhas. Why is that? Because to you, to have faith, especially to Tuan, have faith meaning he has fixed computers, TVs, install security cameras, okay? It takes those steps, create more blessings, yes? Because he sees himself, I'm no Buddha, I'm no Buddha. You see a Buddha here? Right? I mean, it's clear to him, he's no Buddha. But to the Buddha, he doesn't have any discrimination, so time is compressed with the Buddha. There's no discrimination. Okay, so the Buddha saves a lot of time. See his samadhi power. Look at that. I mean, he's louder than a megaphone. So, faith, because so far, for the last 45 minutes, we talked about things that are total nonsense to you. Yes? And you find you struggling to say, yes, I'm here, I believe, sort of. Okay? And it's because this teaching here is challenging. Teaching here is way beyond your imagination. That's why in the Avatamsaka Sutra, this concept of 不可思议, inconceivable. There's no way for you to understand it. Why? Because you're trying to understand. That's why as long as you try to understand, you will not understand. Isn't that cool? So that's why I rush through this, because I know you smart people out there say, but. It's no but. YouTube.
Ru Zhang is asking, what
What's
does
the
it
same
mean?
guy this morning, no?
Yes, I think it's Apple.
Huh?
I think it's Apple.
Apple who?
WMT Apple.
Oh, okay. She
What
keeps
does
on
it-
disguising herself, you know.
What does it mean when one first brings forth resolve? What does it look like? What does one say or do to bring forth resolve?
The resolve? What do you do?
What does it look like? What does one say or do to bring forth the resolve?
What do you need to do to bring forth the resolve? You know the answer, don't you? What do you need to do to bring forth the resolve? Resolve here refers to you want to become a Buddha. What do you need? What does it take? Right there in the first line. Faith. That's all it takes is faith. Yes, you can do it. Remember when you tried to coach your kid in a football field? Yes, son, you can do it. You become a real man. Go hit someone. And he go, "Argh!" Yeah? So that's the only way for you to be able to make it. There are 4 kinds of faith according to the the bringing forth of faith Shastra. Okay, so number 1 is faith. Faith itself, meaning the Dharma, true suchness, is the Buddha's teacher. Meaning the Buddha, you become Buddha because of there is this Dharma here. Okay, that teaches you wisdom. Okay, and a source, and because of that particular teaching here, it explains to you how to get there. To practice is to get there. And the people who believe will transcend existence and emptiness, meaning you will be able to walk the middle path. Okay, existence is that you attach to whatever you can see, like whatever you have, your house, your son, your wife. Okay, emptiness is that I'm free of my wife. My son ran away. Good riddance. It's about time. Except for Jews. Oh, I miss my daughter so much. Stay home with mommy. Okay? So, and separate an object. 能所, meaning that you and others. You and outside. Inside and outside. 能所. Okay? 能 is you able. So is what you belong. What you own. Okay? So this is the nature of our relationship. We want to own. Okay? And all dual dharmas. Dual dharma meaning that there are opposites, pairs, strong and weak, men and women, okay, rich and poor, sick and healthy, happy and unhappy. Okay? Number 2, the second kind of faith is called faith. The first is, the second is faith in the Buddha. Okay? The faith in Buddha, and the Buddha is replete with limitless virtues. And you must be mindful of that Buddha and draw near him constantly. Don't run away from Buddhas. Okay? And you make offerings. These are the keys, by the way. How do you bring forth the resolve? Okay? Have faith. And when you have faith in the Buddha, faith in the Dharma, faith in the Sangha. Okay? And the faith is translated into actions. It's not a faith because I have faith. I believe you. You know, that kind of attitude. You have faith that Buddhas, okay, have limitless virtues. Meaning what? There's nothing good that he would not do. Even the smallest good to benefit an ant or the COVID-19, he would do. All right? And because of that, you want to think of Buddhas and you want to constantly try to draw near him. That's wisdom right there. You draw near to do what? To make offerings. That is, to plant the best and the most blessings possible. If you offer to the Buddha, that's the highest level of blessings possible. Case in point, Shariras are one manifestation of Buddhas. Agree or disagree? It says so. It's one of the 10 bodies of the Buddhas, by the way. Yes? The Buddha has many, many different types of bodies. One type of body is called sharira. Okay? And that's why those of you who have a lot of shariras, you're rich. You know what I mean? Huh? Okay? And respect will generate good roots and unfold with wisdom. Okay? Faith in the Dharma, this is that knowledge, that wisdom that will eradicate stinginess. Well, we don't have that problem, do we? You're not stingy, are you? Of course not. You're not stingy. You're not greedy, are you? And when you practice the paramitas, that's generate great benefits. This is the secret of the universe. You do the paramitas, the 6 paramitas. Giving is the first paramita. What's the second paramita? Old monk. Precepts or being moral. Okay? Do good, do not do evil. Help all living beings. That's precepts. Okay? Number 3, patience. Okay? Number 4, vigor. Excellent. Number 5, samadhi. Number 6, prajna, wisdom, enlightenment. Okay? Those are the 6 paramitas you should always remember, because that's encapsulates all the Mahayana practices. All the practices we do fall within the 6 paramitas. Faith in the Sangha. And number 4, the 4 kind of faith. The practice of proper conduct of benefiting self and others, and draw near a good knowing advisor, and you make sure you draw near the Sangha, sagely Sangha, if you will. Okay? So you believe in true suchness because that's the foundation of the Buddha, and okay. Or you can look at on 242 commentary, 3 kinds of faith. First we look at 4 kinds of faith. Now the 3 kinds of faith. Okay. Okay. The faith, the pure mind. Okay. It refers to, this is in a Pure Land school, refers to the solid faith. You truly sincere. You don't pretend. You don't claim to have faith. Okay, so you purely believe. Okay. Number 2, one mind. Okay, meaning that there's no. When I say when you are one mind, meaning that no false thought arises. Okay, no doubt. You have no doubt whatsoever. Okay, doubt is what causes you to lose single-mindedness. All right, that doubt there is gnawing at you in the background. You can't see it yet, but actually it is confusing you. It's creating waves. It's creating undercurrents that you're not aware of yet. what you're aware of right now, the doubts, is coarse doubts. There's very subtle doubts down there in the ocean, in the dark ocean of your mind that you don't see yet. Okay? And number 3, continuous mind, meaning that you are able to maintain the constant and uninterrupted, meaning that once you reach a state of faith, you are no longer confused by the different teachings or views, and then you seek rebirth to the Pure Land. All right? (243). Nevertheless, these two are non-obstructive. Successive gradations are the establishment of instruction through the marks of the teaching.
然此二无碍，以行布施教相摄施。
Okay.
施摄。
So, 244, the succession versus the sudden, okay, or the fusion basically sudden, okay, different perspectives, it's the same thing. They are non-obstructive, meaning they don't obstruct each other. The successive gradations are the establishment in terms of the mark of the teaching. So the successive gradations, the gradual is useful in that it helps us describe or provide the marks of the roadway. So it describes the details. It gives us the road map of where we're going. Okay, that's why they call successive. It's just like your GPS. Okay, you skip 2, 3 intersection and turn left. As most of you use Waze or a Google Map. Okay, my disciple is a Waze disciple. Proudly, she says. 245. Perfect fusion and functioning on the virtues of the nature of principle. Oh, good Lord.
圆融是理性得用。
You understand this, don't you? You know what I mean. Can we agree that we don't know what the heck this is about? But let's go through the terminology just for the heck of it. Okay? Perfect fusion is the functioning virtues, the inherent principle nature, 理性, principle nature, okay? The nature principle, okay? Can we talk about something that's more manageable to us? I mean, to me, not us, to me. Buddhism is kind of interesting to me because they have a concept of 利用, okay? Principle and function. Nomenon or principle or theory versus application, okay? So that shows the incredible wisdom, the inconceivable wisdom of the Buddhas. Okay? They're able to look at things, manifestation, occurrences, happenings out there, and say, this is the principle behind it. That requires incredible wisdom. Agree or disagree? Only in Buddhism they dare talk about it because only the Buddha has that kind of wisdom. No one else can. And give me an example of a principle in Buddhism that is universally applicable everywhere, at all times, all places. Anyone? Orange. Absolutely. Here's wisdom somewhere here. Cause and effect is the principle behind everything that you can observe. So, if you have a Buddha, you can look at a person and say, how come you choose to have that kind of tattoo? And they know the cause for that, the reason for that. It's not a haphazard thing. Okay? Look at all the Koreans. Look at the Koreans. They're trying to be polite. I'm wasting my time. They're all telling each other, what are we doing here? And Venerable Bom Hyun there, he says, and I took a break from my meditation and to come here. Can we ask the Jewel Mountain Temple crowd there, how are we today? Yeah, Venerable when you say, I'm trying. Hi, Venerable Bom Hyun. Yeah. Long time no see. How are you? Yeah. Did you know him? You recognize him? Yeah. All right. Good to see you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Did you get infected by the COVID? Yes? Okay. Okay. So the nature principle, whatever it means that this something that's complete, meaning that is applicable everywhere. Unchanging, meaning that will never change, is the ultimate truth. Nature refers to not dependent on causes and conditions. Okay? Because your truth, our truth, has dependencies, whereas the nature has no dependencies. So far, so good? All right. Next, 247. Oh, Lord, another hour, please. Marks are the very nature's marks, and so successive gradations do not obstruct perfect fusion.
相是即性之相，故行不博爱圆融。
Okay, 248. The marks are things you can observe. Okay, those marks are actually originate from your nature, your Buddha nature. Okay, this is observations, and therefore gradations are just marks. And perfect fusion is just nature. So they are mutually non-obstructive. Got that? Very good. Next. 249. The nature, the very marks nature, and so perfect fusion does not obstruct successive gradations.
性是极相之性，故圆融不碍行部。
Okay, and to be complete, yes, green.
Master, what's another word for perfect fusion? I'm just confused. Perfect fusion.
Me too.
The nature.
How can I explain it to him? It's like the bees and the flowers. You know, when the bees are with the flowers, they're perfect fusion. Does it help? Perfect fusion meaning that that there's no discrimination. They're completely intertwined. You cannot distinguish one from the other. It's called perfect because it's not possible to make discriminations. Fusion is they are totally integrated, merged together. Okay? So one is all is one, if you will. One contains all is not different from one. Can I continue? Okay, so there are no instructions. So they go through this intellectual logical thing where they make an argument they're not different, okay? In my simple mind, I said, they're all the same. How's that? That's all we need to believe. Okay? 251. Because perfect fusion does not obstruct successive gradation, the one is the limitless.
圆融不碍行部，故一为无量。
One is the infinite. Because when you merge everything to that one big ball there, okay, it does not prevent you from distinguishing the marks. Are you still here? It's okay. 252. One morphs into the infinite. The nature, your Buddha nature, okay, is the source of this entire universe, and you can observe. One becomes limitless because this universe of ours is limitless, it's infinite. If you believe that, would you want to become a scientist and try to measure and gauge the universe? You never have enough time to do it because it's infinite. Okay? So the only way to measure it is to become a Buddha. If that's the challenge you're looking for in life, okay, this is what it takes. (253) Because successive gradations do not obstruct perfect fusion, limitless are the one.
行部不碍圆融，故无量为一。
So that's why in Chan, in the Huatou, okay, they have a Huatou that says, the limitless return to the one. Where does the one return to? That's a Huatou. If you keep on contemplating that, the Koreans will go crazy and we become enlightened. The limitless are all go back to the one. That's a Huatou. Then the question is, where does the one return to?
Limitless? That's the one of the answers.
Huh?
One returns to limitless.
Get out of here.
Huh? No? Yeah?
No.
No? I don't know. It sounds like that.
The nature of the Huatou is you cannot understand.
Yeah.
And when you try to explain it to me, you're becoming like the old monk who wants to explain it to me. Go ahead, old monk.
A Di Đà Phật, cái câu đó là con học trước đây khoảng 20 năm, không hiểu nói cái gì hết.
Now he understands. He said, I can't wait for the translation. This is so juicy. I don't want him to lose momentum to his chain of thought. Hang on, let me translate very quickly. He says, 20 years ago, I heard of this Kung An already. 20 years ago, I heard that the limitless return to the one. Continue, please.
Thì sau khi cách đây khoảng 4 năm mà ngồi thiền với thầy
4 years ago.
Tại cái Lư Xương Tử đó, thì đang
see the Koreans are all interested. Look at all the faces. Oh, really?
Đang ngồi con chịu đựng cái đau thì thình lình chờ cái tiếng chuông của thầy để.
And I was at Lu Mountain Temple waiting, bearing the pain in the legs, and I'm waiting for the bell to ring.
Thì thình lình cái tiếng mô tô nó chạy sát bên chùa rất là to.
There is some Harley Davidson bikes riding next to the temple. Very loud.
Tự nhiên cái câu trả lời đó không biết ở đâu nó tự nhiên nó đến trong
And all of a sudden I got the answer. And the answer was?
Thì tức là từ tất cả một là cái thể mà mình khôn một cái động từ nào, một động tác nào thì nó ra cái dụng. Trong dụng nó mà cái dụng nó có cái thể của nó thì nó là một thôi. Tức là một đi về tất cả đi về một. Thể dụng tức thể.
It's circular reasoning. This guy is crazy.
Tự động nó đến, câu trả lời mình không có ngờ, không biết ở đâu nó đến.
He says, all return to the one return to the all.
Tức là một cái thể đó, cái Buddha nature nó sinh ra vạn vật.
So the Vietnamese and the Chinese are equally confused.
Cái đó là cái mà Tổ Huệ Năng nói là không ngờ tự tánh sanh tất cả, tự tánh chứa tất cả vạn vật. Và không ngờ là vạn vật trở về tự tánh. Cái không mà nãy giờ thầy giảng đó. Cái Buddha nature nó sinh ra vạn vật. Nếu mình khôn một cái động tác mà có nguyên nhân nào đó thì nó sinh ra, nó vẫn còn mang cái thể đó. Cho nên nó viền dung với nhau.
Wait. These soldiers, they don't think logically like we do. Okay? He says, here's the Gungan. The Huatou is that the limitless, all this universe. Okay? They all originate to the one. The one source that created all this universe. You, me, that kid, okay, there, sitting in the chair, okay? They all return to that one thing.
Yeah.
Then the question is, where does this one thing return to? You cannot say go back to the universe.
No,
the one doesn't return to the universe.
One thing cho ra tất cả vạn vật. Nếu mà mình coi một cái hành động nào vô nó ra tất cả vạn vật. Mình cho cái gì ra cái đó. Trong cái không đó mình cái Phật tánh đó, cái Phật tướng đó là mình khởi một cái động tác nào lên thì nó ra cái quả đó. Mà vẫn chứa cái không đó. Nãy giờ thầy giảng đó. Nó trùm với nhau hết, nó dương cái núi nó cũng trùm được một hạt cát. Hạt cát, cái đầu ngọn cỏ cũng có cái không đó, một lỗ chân lông cũng có Phật. Phật là cái gì? Phật là cái Buddha nature. Ở trong lỗ chân lông nó cũng có cái Buddha, cái không đó. Đầu ngọn cỏ, một cái lỗ chân lông. Cái núi nó cũng có cái đó. Mà khi mà mình bởi vì Tổ Huệ Năng sao nghe Lục Tổ nói, nghe Ngũ Tổ nói rồi, nào về tự tánh chứa tất cả, nào về tự tánh thế này đó.
Drink to that.
Không hiểu. Sau khi nghe tổ giảng rồi trùm cái y và giảng rồi, Ngài mới tán thán nào ngờ tự tánh duyên dung chứa tất cả vạn vật.
Good thing he's not doing the Hato because he's gonna go crazy.
Lúc đó con không có ý định là tu quả tổ, không biết quả tổ là cái gì, nhưng mà tại vì con coi tới đó con thắc mắc tại sao người ta hỏi mấy ông thiền sư không nói, mà hỏi một câu mà cái người kia điếc luôn, người ta tới mấy ngàn dặm ta hỏi ông không trả lời. Cái cách dạy gì kỳ quá, thì con bỏ đi thôi. Nhưng mà không ngờ 20 năm sau tự nhiên đang ngồi thiền, mình không có mong cầu, cái tiếng mô tô nó bật một cái là mình lọt vô cái đó, và cái tự nhiên cái trả lời nó tới.
Okay, I let them translate because I give up. He's right. But it's
Sorry,
not.
Master, I don't know how to translate either.
See, that's my point. Only I understand what he's talking about. You don't know what he's talking about. No matter whether we translate or not, you won't get it anyway.
Con cái ý con là thế này. Một á, là cái Buddha nature của everything. Cái gì cũng có Buddha nature, cái tánh không đó, chỗ nào cũng có hết đó. Nhưng mà nó chứa cái tánh không. Cái lỗ chân lông cũng có tánh không, cái đầu ngọn cỏ tánh không, mà cái núi cũng có tánh không. Thì hôm cách thiền thất lúc ngày thứ 17 đó con thấy cái đó. Bên kia đường từ cái ngọn cát cho đến cái hột cát bên kia lề đường, đến một ngọn cỏ kế bên đó thì dài lên tới cái chân trời, tới cái núi và cái rừng trong kia. Mặc dù một tảng đá mênh mông trên núi nó xám, nhưng thật sự nó là từ cái hạng cát chứ mong mình thấy bên cái lề đường này thôi. Những cái lá xanh kia là bằng, nó cũng có những cái tế bào, những cái nhỏ mà dependent của cái tế bào của hột cỏ. Nên tất cả đều một thứ đó nó hiện lên một lúc. Cái không đó, chỗ nào cũng có cái tánh không đó. Mà tánh không thì Phật nói là bất cấu tịnh, nó chỉ vậy thôi chứ nó không có tùy thuộc ai đó. Mình tác cái động tác nào nó ra cái đó. Bây giờ luyện cái bom tử là trái bom cái núi nó tan thì nó thập cái khác, cái ngọn núi nó không độc lập, nó nhờ những này cái kia thành cái núi. Thì từ cái đó cái ngọn cỏ cũng vậy, không có cái gì độc lập, cái tánh không đó. Trong vật nào cũng có tánh không đó.
He's talking about the theory behind it all, okay? And that's what you will understand when you get there, okay? But it doesn't help these people who are not there yet. These are just words. That's all. To you, they're just words. To the rest of you, it's just words. They're meaningless.
Con thấy như vậy rồi, nó diễn ra khoảng trong vài second thôi. Thì nghe cái người rất là khác. Thì con lợi cái hộp sơn mài mở ra thì một ngôi sao lội màu vàng rồng xanh ra. Ngay tức khắc sau cái giây phút đó.
What, she give up too? They're your translator?
Master, I don't understand. It's impossible for me to translate. I'm sorry.
Okay, me too. Go ahead, Chinese people, translate. I mean, Korean people. Samguk Sunim, go ahead, translate. No? Okay. Okay, Pohon Chunim, what do you think? No.
Con thấy
Son is not about understanding. Son is not to describe to you what you're supposed to understand. Son is supposed to bring you there. Okay? Chan is supposed to bring you there. Okay? So what he described is not, what's important is not that what he understood. When you listen to his story, whatever he understood is what he understands, it's not yours. But what you pay attention to these people is how he got there. Is that clear? Never mind, it's okay. Don't try so hard. Next, okay? So the limitless return to one, because one from the one, the nature there originated everything else, okay? But logically, in your logical mind, if we're talking about that one last one right there, where does it go back to? So that's the nature of that Huatou, that Gungan, okay? And you can think all you want, you will not be able to explain it. Because if you say from these people, if you say all the limitless return to that one there, and the one return to, the question is where does the one return to? What's next? What does it go to? Okay? And that's the nature of the Huatou. You cannot say that one returns to the limitless. Then it's circular logic. It doesn't work like that. The question is, all this thing here in the universe, okay, actually originated from the one. So the question in Huatou is, where does that one originate from?
Gọi là Như Lai, như thị, rất không, rất không quên, rất như Lai chẳng đến chẳng đi. Cái gì xảy ra thì nó reflect cho mình, không có nó vậy. Thì bây giờ mình quan sát, khi mà Bồ Tát Quan Âm chiếu kiến cái quẩn dây không, thì khi biết cái quẩn dây không rồi, không phải là còn một cái mình biết. Cái biết đó, cái awareness đó gọi là Phật. Mà không biết nó ở đâu, ai cũng có hết. Thì dạng Pháp đều nó từ cái không đó nó ra. Thì cái không đó, vật nào cũng có emptiness. Thì bây giờ hỏi nó từ đâu, nó như vậy đó, ngày đêm hằng hà sa số kiếp mà là như vậy. Mình mới gọi là Như Lai. Như vậy chẳng đến chẳng đi. Just come one. Nó không là cái gì để cắt nghĩa được, nó là nó như vậy thôi.
That's correct. He has a proper understanding, but it's not something that you can relate to. Okay. So anyway, don't worry about it. Okay. If you don't understand, it's a healthy thing. If you understand, it's something wrong with you. (255) Since the limitless are the one, they interpenetrate in hidden ways.
无量为一，故融通隐隐。
Okay, so even if you understand that the limitless are the one, there actually is some relationship between the limitless and the one in hidden ways that you cannot possibly explain, you can possibly see. That's all. Okay? So that's why he just described it's a generality of it, but it's lacking all the details, how they interpenetrate, how they are interpenetrate in ways he cannot see himself. That's the nature of this teaching. All right? 257, since the one is limitless, they enter each other layer upon layer.
一为无量，故摄入重重。
Okay. 258, your understanding of the Buddha Dharma, your understanding, now we're talking about your understanding, meaning each and every one of you, okay, is but a finite number of layers of this profound teaching. This is why in Buddhism there's a saying, there's a verse that says, 无上甚深微妙法. Okay? The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma. that we recited before we explained the sutras. Okay? That refers to the fact, Wushan, meaning this is the highest level wisdom you can ever attain, you can ever achieve. It is Wushan, unsurpassed. Nothing higher than this. Shen, very profound. Meaning what? There are infinite layers of understanding. What he just described to you is just a few layers, that's all. You haven't seen the rest of it, ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? He only described to you the principle behind it, but not all the layers. Only Buddhas can see all those layers, infinite layers. So far, so good? That's profound, very profound. Wei miao fa. Wei meaning so subtle. The Buddha Dharma is very, very subtle. Okay? We're talking about, remember today we talked about hair pores. We talked about dust motes. Okay? Within that hair pore, within a dust mote, you can see, you put a microscope in there, you see actually more worlds upon layers and layers of worlds. You see, in one hair pore contains infinite number of worlds. And you go into that, into number of worlds, there are living beings there, and each living being is that infinite number of worlds. You have more hair pores, and you dig deeper, you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, infinitely. So far, so good? Any questions? Okay, so wonderful, last character, last adjective is wonderful. It's wonderful because it is so incredibly beautiful. It's so enjoyable. It's so fascinating. It's so marvelous. Okay? That's the profound joy, the profound pleasure that you will experience when you're able to see this. Yes, it's fun. It's wonderful. It's not dry. It's not like, I eat one meal a day. I give up on life. I am pure. Okay? No, it's wonderful. Life is wonderful. You are wonderful in all your tattoos. Okay? All right. 259. Therefore, Vasubandhu use the 6 marks of perfect fusion, or prior and subsequent texts. There are more than one.
故世亲以6相圆融，上下之文非一。
Okay. 260. Vasubandhu is one of those brainy bodhisattvas who came our world to teach profound Mahayana principles. He uses 6 marks, okay, of perfect fusion. When you see perfect fusion, you can observe 6 things, okay, 6 characteristics. The mark of generality, the mark of peculiarity, the mark of identity, the mark of difference, the mark of coming into being, the mark of destruction. Okay? A prior and subsequent text, there are more than one. Prior is a prologue, and subsequent is sutra text. There are many of these things throughout the Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay? Any questions? Hey, Puma. So what are Vasubandhu and Asanga? Okay, Master YongHua has explained this very well. Asanga is the older half-brother. Vasubandhu is a smart and eloquent one. Asanga started with Hinayana, and he quickly became satisfied with dissatisfied with Hinayana. He says too limited is not complete. Okay, whereas Vasubandhu was perfectly happy with Hinayana teachings. So Asanga, in order to convince his younger brother, he contacted Vasubandhu and said, "I'm dying soon, so please come, so that I can see you for the last time." So Vasubandhu didn't get along his older brother. He says, "I don't want to do anything with these deviant people who believe in Mahayana crap. They are so wrong. But since it's my older brother who's dying, I have no choice but come and pay him a visit." So, and when he came, Asanga then entrapped him further. He says, "For the last time, will you do me a favor? Read me the Flower Adornment Sutra." Okay? And Vasubandhu reluctantly agreed. And so he read the sutra. Folks, the moral story is that you keep on reading this. Okay? And remember, put yourself in Vasubandhu's shoes. He read the Flower Adornment Sutra reluctantly, not believing anything he read. He just read it verbally for his brother's sake. That's all. He rejected that internally. Can you see that picture? He says, "Oh, this is nonsense. This is crap. Oh, look at that. Could you believe this?" So he's reading his whole thing like heck. He says, "I don't believe any of this. Would you believe these crazy people? You know, they don't know what they're doing. And how can they believe all these things?" So amazingly, for a person, Vasubandhu was at a high level. He has wisdom, Hinayana wisdom, meaning fourth stage Arhat. Okay, and he read the Flower Adornment Sutra, and he said he disagreed totally against it. He disagreed with everything he read, but he read anyway. He read and read and read. Okay, and pretty soon get to a passage where. About the sea of conduct of universal worthy bodhisattva, Vairochana Buddha's Dharma realm described. He saw a bright light and saw the Indra's pearl net, and he said, "Wow, what a miracle!" And he developed faith. Okay? And shall we continue? 262. And with faith, okay, he immediately experienced shame. And he says, "I've been slandering the great vehicle and created many offenses. And big brother, give me a knife. Let me cut my tongue in repentance." These Indians are pretty radical. They don't do tattoos. They take a knife. And they actually use the knives, not just needles. You know what I mean? And Asanga says, "No need, younger brother. No need, bro. You fell, and just use your ground. As you fall down, use the ground to pick yourself up. In the past, you use your tongue to slander us. Now that you awaken, move to Korea and propagate Mahayana." And Vasubandhu agreed. And he changed his name to Sunim. Okay? And he read, and by then he read and recited a lot of Mahayana sutras, composed a treatise on the 10 grounds, okay? Meaning that the moral of the story is that, and then when he completed those shastras, okay? Only bodhisattvas can compose shastras, by the way. So he became enlightened by studying the Mahayana sutras. And when the proof is that when he finished his shastra, the earth quaked. 4.8 on the Richter scale, centered around San Jose, near Golden Forest. Okay? And we all have a share. Way my own question. Go ahead.
Anaheim has earthquake 4.6. Does it mean that there's a Vietnamese person become enlightened? It's Anaheim, so it's Fountain Valley. It's Orange County, so it's Vietnamese people around.
Vietnamese people? No, this person is Taiwanese. I heard there are lots of Taiwanese around here, no? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, 263, the king came and bowed to Vasubandhu. How come the news travels so fast in India? You know that they have nothing to do over there. The king knew immediately. He came to Vasubandhu and said, hey, have you certified arhatship? And Vasubandhu said, no. Then why did the earthquake? The king asked. Vasubandhu said, in the past, I slandered a great vehicle. Now I've written this Shastra, praising the Flower Adornment Sutra. Upon its completion, when I completed it, the earth quaked. 6 kinds of light shone, certifying its accuracy. And so I'd like to offer it to you so that you can print it and distribute it widely for the unenlightened. Okay? So here's the story. You would like to hear the story behind the story. No? Vasubandhu was a total idiot. He thought he knew it all. Okay? And so that's why his first reaction when he read the Flower Adornment Sutra, he says, I don't believe. Okay? That's a fact. He's fighting it all the way. Okay? But as he read the Flower Adornment Sutra, what happened? Sang-wook, what happened? Reading the sutra, reciting sutras, generated incredible amount of blessings. Yes or no? And because of those blessings, okay, when he got to the part, even though in his mind, pay attention, Koreans, okay? In his mind, as he was reading it all this time, he said, no, 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 no. But the fact that the principles penetrated his brains, went through his ears, okay? Registered in his mind, okay? Regardless of what he does, what he thought of it. The seeds were planted and the blessings were generated by reading the sutra. Lesson? That's why, you know, when Master YongHua disciple, that white guy who went for 3 steps, 1 bow, what does he do during the day? During the day, he bowed 8, 10 hours a day. 3, you know, walk 2 steps or 3 steps. I never could figure it out. Is it 2 or 3? Okay. 3 steps, 1 bow. Okay. So you walk 1, 2, 3, bow. 3rd step, bow. Get up, 1, 2, 3, bow. He does that all day. So far, so good. Okay. That's a form of repentance. At night, you know what he did? He studied the Flower Dharma Sutra. Okay, this will be our secret. Okay, that's why eventually, after 2.5 years of doing that every day, he became enlightened. This Flower Dharma Sutra, you're all complaining right now, I don't know what he's talking about. The limitless return, the one return, to what? Okay? And even the master says, I don't know what this is about. The principal nature. I understand what it is, but I can't explain it to you. Because the more I try to explain to you, the more you revolt and say, what kind of nonsense are you talking about? The Flower Dharma Sutra is not meant for you to understand. It's meant for you to recite, to bow to. And you do that, you, people before you, have become enlightened already. Moral of the story, Tuan, there's hope for you. It's not funny. And that's what's inconceivable about this sutra. You just read it, you just recite it, and wonderful things happen. You don't understand a darn thing, and you still become enlightened anyway. How's that? And that's Mahayana wisdom. Okay? Way Mountain.
Master, back in the day, Vasubandhu Bodhisattva recited in Sanskrit. Does translation also matters to accumulating blessing through reciting the sutra as well?
Yes, it does. Okay? But the better translations would generate more blessings. There are many different types of translations, but the better translation will generate more blessings. Not all translations are the same. All right? For example, in English, you will find, you go to the bookstore, you buy something from Thomas Cleary. He translated the Avatamsaka Sutra in English. This thick booklet here I bought 25 years ago, $100. No, $300, $100. I don't remember anymore. It was a lot of money for me back then. Okay? This thick book here. I still have it. Maybe next time I bring it to you. We take a photo, hey. But it's nonsense. He really messed it up so badly. It's so wrong. Okay? And you know what? The funny thing is that Master YongHua, 25 years ago, he told his disciples, it's okay for you to recite the Avatamsaka Sutra in English. Use that version. Can you imagine? It's all wrong. I mean, like 90% is, 75% is wrong. And yet he says, it's still okay. Recite it. Read it. Isn't that incredible? So this Flower Dharma Sutra is really inconceivable. Just read it. So that's why Stop complaining today, especially the Koreans. They look so bored and say, I don't know what these Americans are doing. Okay? The mere fact we're going through this and you listen to it are doing you a ton of good that you can never imagine. That's why we're doing this. And Master Pomyong said, oh, yeah, just a minute. Let me finish my text here. See what I mean? Yeah. All right, any questions or comments? So that's why the one thing you learn, Dharma door you learned today is that I hope you all recite the Avatamsaka Sutra. What I did, okay, was that after lunch, when I was a novice, I would, back then there's no version, only English and the printed Shambhala version from Thomas Cleary, Professor Thomas Cleary, $100 or $300, $100. It's a lot of money. And for nonsense. And then the Vietnamese version, okay? And I knew the Vietnamese version, they truncated a lot of stuff that they didn't understand. The great master Thich Chi Tinh, whatever, he dropped things that he feels to be repetitive, or names of the ghost kings and ghost spirit kings that he said, this no one understands this, So he truncated a lot of stuff. So he reduced it to, we lost a lot in a Vietnamese translation. And I read that. I just recited that every day after lunch. Walked around for half an hour, the Buddha Hall, and reading as I walk along. Okay? Did it 3 times. 8 volumes. I did 3 times. That's it. Now after that, I awakened to the fact I don't understand a darn thing about it. So I stopped doing it. I said, this doesn't make sense. This is not a good use of my time. YouTube, go ahead.
Diego is asking, Master, is there any translation that you recommend us?
Chinese translation is pretty good. The English, actually, the DRBA, I highly recommend it. They are pretty good. What happened is that, and I'm not encouraging you to go steal from them, but during, I think, like, there used to be the case where once a year they would get together around Master YongHua's anniversary, and they would get together and they recite the entire sutra, whether it's in English, whether it's in Chinese, Vietnamese, whatever language they might have. And what they did is that they printed the unfinished English versions, translation of that. Okay, so you could try to borrow that part. Okay, you know what I mean? It's, to me, it's sometimes it's worth stealing good stuff. Yes, tattoo man.
Master, I have a comment.
You know, this tattoo man used to date a orthopedic surgeon. Yeah, he said, "Let me show you my tattoos." Is that the line, as a pickup line you use? Never mind. Yeah.
Just have a comment. I have the Flower Adornment Sutra in English, and when I read it, I just really like it because there's nothing fake about it. It's just so wonderful, and it's just kind of calms me down, like.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Can I tell you what happened to me when I recited that whole 8-volume Vietnamese 3 times every day, practically every day? Religiously every day after eating lunch, I would walk around. Okay. You do it after a while, regularly, you stop thinking. It felt wonderful. It's addictive, trust me. It's just like it transports you into a different world where it's only you and the sutra text, nothing else. It's called what? Entering the sutra, reading samadhi. There's nothing left but you and the text itself. No Buddha hall, no earth, nothing. The limitless return to me. Go ahead, Wei Mountain.
Master, I just have a question and a comment sharing regarding you just mentioned about the English translation. I believe that for this year, during Master Shenhua's memorial, they did chant it in English and Chinese, and it is probably still on YouTube, the recording of the whole Avatam Sutra. Also, Venerable Heng Su on Saturday, he is himself reading the Avatamsaka Sutra in English, and it's on recording. The copy is probably also online, the portion that he explains. If you go to his YouTube, they are there, probably still.
Thank you very much, spy number 2. So, in summary, I highly recommend that you recite the sutra because it's really inconceivable. Okay? All right. Hey, Sangwook Sunim, do you have this sutra in Korean or not? You do? Okay. See, your Koreans should read it, should recite it every day. I highly recommend it. Okay? Just recite it. Every day, spend half an hour reciting sutra. Keep on reciting, cycle over and over and over. That's one Dharma door in Mahayana. That's inconceivable. Just recite. And that's exactly what happened to Vasubandhu. He read the sutra, that's all he did. So Master Shenhua just gave you a Dharma door right there that helped Vasubandhu become enlightened. Okay? Vasubandhu, by studying Hinayana, became a 4th-stage Arhat. By reciting Avatamsaka Sutra, he became enlightened. He became a Bodhisattva. That's the only thing he did. That propelled him from Arhat to become a Bodhisattva. So, Kimchi lady, she practices all day in Korea. I would spare an hour a day to recite the Korean version of Avatamsaka Sutra. Try that. Are you translated, Sangwoo? Okay. And also, young Song there, who has, instead of flying around talking nonsense to people, recite the sutra too. Okay? This is the ultimate wisdom that the Buddha is giving you every time you recite, when you recite the sutra, read the sutra. You are loading your nature with the Buddha's wisdom. And by all means, do not try to understand. It's very important. Another practice that also Master Hsien Hua disciple Hengshu, Venerable Hengshu did after he came back from a pilgrimage. Another way to practice the Avatamsaka Sutra is to bow to every single character. We see you read, what's this character in Avatamsaka? Okay, every single Chinese character, you bow down, and you bow, and you bow to every single character. So I would alternate. If you're afflicted, you get vexed, you get angry at someone, you have sexual desire, you have whatever problem you're going to have, okay? You're depressed, you're manic, okay? You're greedy. You bow to each single character. Okay? That's a remedy for your afflictions. Those of you who have the time, I would highly recommend it. It's inconceivable, let me tell you. I tried reading it 3 times. It's just indescribable. That sutra has its own magical power. It's called sutra power, sutra magic. That sutra has this incredible force that rewires your brains. Go ahead, old monk. Black.
Chia sẻ cái kinh nghiệm của con là năm 2016 con về Việt Nam thì kẹt máy bay đi không được. Nên mỗi ngày con lại cái cuốn Đại Thông Phương Quảng sám hối trang nghiêm thành Phật. Nó cũng giống như kinh dạng Phật. Mỗi ngày con lại 800 lại. Thì tới cuối tháng đó thì Hòa Thượng, con đang ngủ trưa, Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa tới. Tới ngày bắt con đấm bóp. Mình ngủ trưa nằm mê đó. Mà rất là vui, ngày giỡn với con rồi. Con về Mỹ trở lại, thầy con thơ với thầy thì cuối tuần con về bữa thứ Tư. Thì cuối tuần thầy bắt con nhập thất. Thì thầy có chỉ thị duy nhất là không được ngủ nằm. Cái như đó thôi. Rồi con xuống nhà bếp con lấy đồ ăn theo, rồi con tự nhận là con đi thiền thất, cho nên con ăn một buổi thôi. Đem một chai tương theo với gạo thôi. Thì nhập thất thì tự động sao con biết, là con một ngày con chia làm 6 thời. 4 giờ khuya đến 12 giờ đêm là con tụng 42 thủ nhãn. Và ở giữa đó thì con đọc Kinh Quan Nghiêm. Lần đầu tiên trong đời con đọc Kinh Quan Nghiêm. Thì dự định của con là nhập thất 4 tuần. Thì cái như thầy mới nói, may mắn là cuối cái tuần thứ 3 thì thầy xuống. Thầy nói xong rồi đi về. Là lần đầu tiên trong đời con thấy Kinh Quan Nghiêm là đọc, chứ con có lâu lắm mà con không có đọc. Thì từ do đó con cũng nghĩ như thầy nói là cái Kinh Quan Nghiêm rất là không thể nghĩ bàn. Mình cảm ơn cái lực của Kinh đó là mình không có ngờ. Con xin hết.
Master, I would like to share my experience. So in 2016, I was in Vietnam, and then while I was waiting for the airplane ticket to come back to the U.S., I was bowing to the sutra is called Đại Thông Phương Quảng, sám hối trang nghiêm thành Phật. So it's kind of like a sutra about repentance, and then it will help you to become a Buddha. So every day I bow 800 times, and after 30 days when I was taking a nap, I dreamt about Master Hsien Hua. He came and then he asked me to massage him. And then after that, I came back to the U.S. and Master told me to enter a retreat. And his instruction was I should not lay down to sleep at night. So I decide, okay, I will enter the meditation retreat, so I will just eat 1 meal a day and then pack things very light. And then every day I divided my days into 6 sections to practice the 42 hand and eyes, and then in between I will recite the Avatamsaka Sutra. I knew about this sutra a long time ago, but that was the first time that I recite the sutra. And after 3 weeks, Master came and then he told me that, okay, I'm done. I don't need to do the retreat anymore. So that was the first time that I experienced the inconceivable power of the sutra.
What a miracle. The grammar improved tremendously. The English translation grammar has, I would see, nothing is wrong. What's the matter? I'm sorry, what did she say? I was paying more attention to grammar. Anyway, good job. Way Mountain, go ahead.
If we were to listen to the recording of the Avatamsaka in Chinese, or maybe with the pinyin version of the sutra, would that be the same? Or we need to do the English one?
Are you Chinese or English?
Well, be it.
What is your first language?
Buddha language.
Then listen to it in Buddha language.
I mean, for people who don't have access to the Chinese.
Are we talking about others or about you?
Me and others, because it's so hard to read even the Chinese version of the sutra. It's 81 videos. I'm hardly getting through them, not to mention reading them and being able to read all the characters in there. The pinyin will do the job, or the listening.
Then don't read it. It's too difficult.
So do you recommend, can we do the pinyin?
I recommend them all. I do Pinyin, I do Chinese, I do Vietnamese, I do English, I do Sanskrit, whatever I can put my hands on.
What about listening?
Listening, I don't listen. The reason is this. I hesitate to recommend recordings because I don't know what recording, who made the recordings, but if the wrong person made the recordings, actually it's not that good. Okay? Way Mountain, go ahead.
No, I would just wanted to say, if you want to listen to Master YongHua explanation in Avatamsaka Sutra.
Ching! Oh, good Lord. I mean, this is the end of me. Okay, any other questions? Any serious questions or comments? Okay. No, seriously today, I'm so glad that we talked about Vasubandhu Asanga, and that reminds me of these important Dharma doors, where when you do chant, you need to enter samadhi, okay? You need to become enlightened. So there is this pressure, have you improved? Have you improved? Have you improved? Have I improved? Have I improved? Have I improved? Will Master certify me? And the answer is no. You're barking up the wrong tree. You know. So that's a pressure in the Chan school. And you go to the Pure Land school and say, am I going to be reborn there? Is Amitabha Buddha going to come and see me? Okay? How come I resided for so long I ain't seen nothing yet? Okay? And how much longer? See, you have all this pressure. You do the tantras practice. You say, how come I have no spiritual penetration? How come I cannot move pencils? You know what I mean? So these people have so much pressure. But when you recite the Avatamsaka Sutra, you can become enlightened just like that. Like Avavasubandhu, and no rhyme or reason. That's how powerful this sutra is, folks. I'm serious now. I know I joke a lot and I should not be taken seriously. But today I want to be serious for once for all. This Dharma door here is very, very important, folks. It's not about understanding. It's about let this inconceivable power of this sutra, okay, do wonders for you. I can't stress enough that, that it's difficult and kind of challenging to understand, try to follow this. But the mere fact we together and doing this week after week and week after week, that has inconceivable benefits. Okay? And it's addictive. Once you go into the actual sutra itself, text itself, it's very addictive. Every day I used to listen to this in Chinese, and they would translate it for me in Calgary. After a month or so, I look forward to it every day after lunch. All right. We stop here today. Thank you all, and let's do the rebirth transference.